The summer garden's here, and we're in the shade garden. And if you remember, Ted, this tree died on me this year. We had a storm last year that really knocked it to smithereens, and it's not doing well. But you know what we did, and we're going to do this. We just started. We've drilled holes into it, and they're going to go deeper, and we'll drill a bunch of holes in here for the native bees to use it as a snag. We call these snags, as a little place for them to lay their eggs and to have a home. So if you have a tree that you have to cut it down so it's maybe only 10, 12 feet tall. It's no longer a danger, but it's kind of an interesting character in the canopy here. And at the same time, you're giving birds a place to peck on, roost on, and the bees to rest on. I'm going to take this moisture meter.
Yeah.
So you put that into the ground like that, and up goes the moisture meter, okay? This is all you need. This is a little, we sell them for $5, and if anybody wants any, they can go to my website and send me an email, and I'll put it on my porch.
They are great. I've used them myself.
Yeah, and the other thing, you can get these from Amazon for $10 or Home Depot. So and you need one, and this one's lasted about 10 years. So they don't, $1 a year. But what you do is you don't water unless the tree or the plant needs water. So I had a lady come up to me yesterday, and she said to me, the leaves are falling off my tree and they're turning brown. I'm going to water it because it must need water, even though we've had all this rain. I said, no, that's a sign that it's had too much water. You can't tell the difference unless you have this tool. So I'm not here shilling this tool because I'm not making any money on it. But what I want people to do is use the correct tool to diagnose what's going on with their plants.
Interesting, because I would have thought the same thing. Oh, must not have enough water.
Trees will show the same thing both ways. Okay? Dropping their leaves and or turning brown, you can't tell unless you check for moisture. And up here I've got one of my mosquito buckets, and you can see, actually we had to empty some of the rainwater out of it. It was so much. But we keep it about half full. We had put some grass in it. The grass is kind of fermented in there. So it's got a little tiny bit of an odor. So you don't want to put it right next to where you're sitting. But we put the wire on top to keep any critters from crawling in there. But we also have a stick there, you can see. So if any of the native bees get in there, they can crawl out. What we do is once a month, you buy these at, again, Amazon or the local hardware store. It's called a mosquito dunk, and it is got Bacillus thuringiensis in here, which kills the eggs of the mosquito. So the mosquito is drawn to that bucket. It lays its eggs in the water, but because we've put the mosquito dunk in there, the eggs won't hatch. So I break them into small pieces because you don't need. This is for like the size of a swimming pool. But if you've got any still or standing water and you put that in there, that will be good for a month. And you're standing here now with me. Have you seen a mosquito?
Not even one.
I know. And usually my backyard last year was covered in mosquitoes. And I have never had such a great experience now with mosquitoes not being here.
I feel like I'll get my backyard back.
Yes.
Because you can't sit out a lot of times.
You can't sit out. And so what you do is you have, we have 3 of them because with this, I consider this a room. So this room is covered by this mosquito bucket, and then the room there by the patio as another one, and then the third room by the gazebo. But you can see there's a little bit of an odor, so you want to keep it away from where you're sitting, okay? Because we're shade, we don't get the vibrancy of color in our cone flowers, so you can see they're kind of a pale pink because most it's in shade. But look in shade, we are still growing cone flowers, and then you can start to see the black-eyed Susans are just starting to emerge. I'll show you one right here. So right here is a black-eyed Susan,
yep.
But it's not quite getting there yet. And those really tall plants right next to the bird feeder, those are cutleaf cone flowers. And over here, here behind you, first of all, we've got a really great oak leaf hydrangea. That's supposed to be a small one. It's supposed to only get about 5 feet tall, but it's an overachiever. It's so many things in this garden. I like that. But over here, we've got a plant called Hypericum, and it blooms all summer with this really pretty little yellow blossom. And this is as big as it gets, about 3. We're standing next to it from a raised bed, but this is only gets about 3 feet tall.
Okay.
That's it. So this is a perfect plant for a lot of gardens that people want to control their gardens. They don't want to really have as wild a garden as I have. But this could be in any bed, any place. It's deciduous, and it might die back in a really severe winter, but it'll come back beautifully.
Oh, it fits in perfectly.
Yeah. And so I just wanted to point out next to that, I just put an ostrich fern there. Somebody gave me a little piece of an ostrich fern, and I tucked it in there. So the reason that I did that, Ted, is that this is a blue-green plant, this is a blue-green plant, and that's a yellow-green plant. I don't know if you can kind of see the difference.
Contrast, yeah.
So it's a contrast, and it's a different texture. So that's what you want to do when you get a garden like this. You don't have a ton of annuals, which friends don't let friends plant annuals. You only want to have things that are going to take less time.
Yeah.
So last week I have a yard guy, and he spent 45 minutes pulling the nasty vines out of here, and that's it. I haven't done anything in the yard, and I probably won't until September. But see the contrast. Now I'm going to bring that out, and that I've got another place I tucked one in. So that's what you can do with ferns or anything that's got a little bit of more interest, and that's kind of highlights and pops in the garden. So this is hydrangeas. This is what's called a smooth hydrangea. Some people know it as the Annabelle hydrangea, which is really a cultivar. A cultivar being something that is bred for a specific look or a specific look of the flower or the size or a color of the leaf. So the straight species will come, and then people will just kind of keep going with, hey, this one has bigger flowers, so we'll continue to breed this one. So this is the straight species here. And then I have some cultivars down there because the place up in Delaware called the Mount Cuba, which is, they do a lot of research, have shown that even cultivars can actually be more effective when it comes to pollinators than the straight species. So you see that this is kind of a nice little hideaway for birds. You just saw a bird fly in there, and he's getting some of the seeds off of one of the plants in there. So when we come back next time, this is all called turtle head, and these will all be beautiful little light blue flowers, and we'll have a whole different look to the garden in about another month, and we can see that. One other spot that I put I don't know if you can see it, way back underneath the tree there, way back behind the pond, I put another ostrich fern back there. And so I wanted to brighten that up a little bit and kind of mask the house a little bit. And so if you brighten that up, your eye comes forward, and that's where you stop, your eye will stop. Just like if you look at this plant right in the pond, so that stops your eye. You want to kind of do that in a garden. You want to stop your eye and bring you back to that, because when you do that, then you kind of then stop, pause, and then you look beyond it and you see the interest behind there, and that is the interest of a garden. If you just look at an open green space, it's kind of boring, really.
Well, and you've described in the past, you can hear the birds again. The birds are all around here, but just having the shade and the trees gives them some protection.
It gives them protection, and the water. So they're very much drawn to the water, the movement of the water. They will come here and actually get in the waterfall and drink and take a bath, and they'll do that up in the fountain as well as the bird bath. I mean, the bird bath we have to fill sometimes 10 times a day because there's so many birds in this yard. But it's fun. It's a peaceful garden. We enjoy it, and you can tell the difference in the temperature here is at least 10 degrees difference.
At least.
Than out in the sun. So that's why we enjoy it, and it's an easy care garden. But it didn't get here overnight. We started, the thing I wanted to tell you, we started with small trees. So we are giving away trees this fall, and I'm going to come on your program and talk about that. So I hope people will tune in to hear about how they can get free trees and low-cost native shrubs. We have 20 varieties of each one, but I'll elaborate more when we meet next time.